Political response.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is Legitical Response, a little show I put together to highlight Congress, Senate, what they doing for us, what they not doing for us, what they might be doing, what they could be doing, what they should be doing, but mostly the lies and the hypocrisy they try to get away with. This is so crazy that you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, especially if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet. Why haven't you subscribed? Anyway, let's get into it right quick. So we got Pramila Jayapal, right? She is Washington's 7th congressional district, I believe. And she's being interviewed by a reporter from CNN. They're talking about the Joe Biden's whole document scandal that's going on right now. It's just crazy. This person is so deluded that she really doesn't see anything wrong with what Joe Biden has done. She keeps shifting to Trump. Shifts over to Trump. Shifts over to Trump. Crazy. Watch the clip.
Should President Biden be held to that same standard? I mean, you said President Trump stole the classified documents and put our national security at risk. Isn't it possible that President Biden is putting our national security at risk also?
I absolutely think that is why the Department of Justice has appointed the special counsel. But again, I would just point to the fact that these documents so far that we know, what we know is that they were kept in a locked place. That was a very small number. And, I don't know how important these are. They might be incredibly important. They were marked top secret.
Now, I got to stop right there because that is an outright lie. She is lying to the American public. There is no evidence whatsoever that those documents that they found in Joe Biden's garage was locked up all the time. They've been there since he was vice president. That's a long time. There's a lot of access to that house. There's no records of anybody coming in or going out of that house. It could have been any number of people. Hunter Biden has been in that house. There's records showing that Hunter Biden lives there. That right there is a security breach if I've ever seen one. This person is so deluded and does not want anything to look bad for her party whatsoever. She is willing to get on public TV and outright lie, knowing she's lying for all of her constituents in Washington. This is what your politician does. She is a liar. I know most politicians are, and I'm sorry to point y'all out specifically because my politician, my representative, is a liar as well. But we got to point these things out. We have got to get the government cleaned up. This is totally unacceptable. We cannot have our politicians doing stuff like this. It needs to stop. Let's keep rolling. See what else you got to say.
But the storage and the approach to this is completely different. That doesn't mean that there isn't a problem here. And certainly there's a political problem for all of us as Democrats. But I do think that there are significant differences. And I do think it's important to look at the fact that this president is cooperating completely with the investigation. He is not obstructing. He is not saying that this is a witch hunt. He is not doing any of those things. In fact, it is his Department of Justice that has appointed a special counsel who was appointed under Trump and who Republicans and who was confirmed unanimously in the Senate and who Republicans and Democrats both respect. So there are significant differences.
Yeah, there's definitely significant differences. First off, Joe Biden shouldn't have had those documents in the first place. If we want to get into Trump, we can get into Trump. He had the authority to declassify documents so they were no longer top secret. We know what was there. It wasn't anything special. Also, Donald Trump had them locked up with padlocks. The government records office knew where those records were at. They knew what lock was on there. His house is protected by Secret Service. Joe Biden's garage is totally different. There's no padlock on his garage. I'm sorry. You can't say, you can't try to put one over the other. Joe Biden wasn't supposed to have those documents. had nothing to do with him. He didn't have the ability to declassify documents, if you want to get into that. But to me, they're both wrong. Trump was wrong for taking those documents, and Biden is even more wrong for taking those documents because he didn't have the authority to declassify that stuff. Trump did. Now, see, we could nitpick over differences here and there, little things, little stuff that doesn't really matter. The fact is, neither one of them were supposed to have the documents there, but the Department of Justice didn't send the FBI to raid Joe Biden's house. So get off your high horse, lady. You know he was wrong. Just say it. That's all you gotta do. Just be honest about it. He shouldn't have had those documents there. But don't try to lie to the American people. That's totally wrong, and it is below what our politicians should be. Our politicians should be held to a higher standard because we vote them in place for a reason. Because they are supposed to be at a higher standard. And I wish they were. But unfortunately, they're human just like you and just like me. They make mistakes. But when you make mistakes, admit your mistakes. You're a politician. That's all I got for this one, y'all. Thank everybody for watching, and be positive. Peace.